This right here is every woodblock in the game. Every log, every trapdoor, every sign, everything. And I want to see if I can make a halfway decent looking custom tree using all of these blocks. No matter how weird or ugly it is, I have to use it. Honestly, I don't know what I'm getting myself into here, guys. This tree is probably going to be the worst thing you've ever seen. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I found this really cool space here right on top of this mountain where there's just this giant hole in the ground. I figured this place would be great to build our custom tree out of if we just kind of, covered it up with grass and whatnot, so I just took care of that real quick. And now we've got a really nice kind of blank canvas to make our monstrosity of a tree. Now this is like well over 100 blocks. This is a lot to take in, but I think I've got a couple ideas on what to do. Ways to like break this down and make it a little bit less overwhelming, because if we just started putting blocks down, I think I would get very lost very quickly. Now I want to start with the logs because of course, the first part of the tree we're going to be building is the trunk, so we're gonna have to be using a lot of these different blocks. So what I've done here is I've taken this wide array of different textures and colors and kind of chunked it out into different categories. I never really see people doing this, which is probably because no one really works with every single kind of wood at once. I'm imagining some sort of like otherworldly alien tree that has a brown kind of base color to it, but it's got all these different veins and just kind of different streaks of all these different colors running up the sides of it, looking really, really cool. And that way we can use a whole bunch of different colors. Off to a solid start here. I can't say I hate this stump here. Of course, we're just using spruce and dark oak. We haven't touched any of the weird colors yet. But I've been able to knock out the 4-sided and 6-sided logs as well as the slab versions. And in order to expand this trunk upwards, we're going to need a little bit of a block transition here. I'm using this gradient of dark oak to mangrove to jungle to oak, and the jungle is a little bit out of place, but we just have to get it in there somehow. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that built up. Yeah, it's sure is something, all right. And to think I'm still just using the relatively normal blocks. At the very least, we can check off a lot more blocks. And here's where things are gonna get really wacky, because rather than add in branches right about here like I would on a normal tree, I want to make this like cascading gradient of all these different wood colors from out of the sides of this tree, and they're gonna have like weird colors crawling up the side and branching outwards, almost like some sort of fungal parasite has taken over this tree and has swapped out its branches with like tendrils and stuff. And I don't know, I'm making up some weird stuff here. I'm trying really hard to just keep it all together, but there's a lot of blocks here, so you gotta get a little wacky with your ideas, If we lay out all the stripped wood like so, we can make a pretty cool rainbow gradient, even including the warped wood, which is really the only like very cool color on this list. Something like this, I guess. I mean, the rainbow is very cool, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm a big fan of the colors, like in theory. I just think on a tree it might look a little bit silly, but we've committed to the bit, guys. We've gone this far. Let's just get these branches down and just try our best to not make it look terrible. So, what the hell am I doing? This is a monstrosity. I've finished all the branches. I mean, it kind of looks okay, but it's just like, what is happening here? I don't know what I was expecting when I signed up for this challenge, but it certainly wasn't this. It's kind of cool just like for the sheer amount of colors and all the spiraling branches and stuff, but it also just kind of looks terrible. But don't worry, guys, it's not over yet. I've got a plan to salvage this. But for starters, at the very least, we can cross off a whole ton of blocks here that we've used already. This side of the field's looking a lot cleaner. We still got a lot of stuff to go, but I've got a bit of a secret plan to get this looking a little bit less terrible. We're kind of bending the rules a tiny little bit here, guys, but you really can't make a good tree without leaves of some kind. These are, of course, all the different colors of wood we've used for our branches up there, and these are all of their matching leaf blocks. It's gonna get quite a bit more green, but we still got some very funky colors going on this end of things. And just like that, we got the time lapse going. I'm putting all the leaves down, and yeah, it's certainly turning out to be something, all right. I kind of unironically like this thing now. I know I was literally just just cringing about this like 5 minutes ago, or way more than 5 minutes ago. That's a lot of leaves to place. But now with the leaves put down, it's so much cooler. It's a little hard to see on first glance, but I really wanted to take the time to make all of the different leaf styles unique. Like for example, the mangrove leaves are very droopy. The acacia and birch leaves are kind of your standard custom tree looking designs. And then I went for a totally different approach with the nether wart blocks and the cherry leaves just having kind of little pockets of, in this case, I guess fungi and leaves all across the edges of the branches, not really moving them inwards as much. Like you can see, the inner bits of these branches here are very bare. So yeah, just that little bit of like complexity and, you know, differing styles and stuff really changed this tree, and I'm starting to really fall in love with this thing. It's like the every tree or something, you know, every single wood, every single leaf, all the trees just fused into one. It's really cool, honestly. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves because we still have a very big task ahead of us, which of course is all of these blocks right here. I have literally no idea what I'm gonna do with like the vast majority of these, so wish me luck, guys. This is gonna be something, all right. I guess for starters, we can take some of the stripped wood and planks that we haven't used already and just kind of work them into the trunk, like here, here, and here. Gonna try and use some of the acacia and cherry wood all the way at the bottom of the trunk, actually. I want to kind of make like a little rotted out section because this gray looks a lot like dead wood. And this dark purple is kind of a weird kind of color too, so it's something, you know? Yeah, something like that should be good. That looks all gross and rotted. You know, this oak wood is like kind of the color of like a brown mushroom, so I'm wondering if I could sneak in a couple little discs of mushrooms around the side of this tree. Yeah, that's not too bad, and you know, it's really light, so it does contrast with the trunk well. And then the last bits of the proper wood blocks here are just the birch wood, spruce stairs, some jungle stuff, and some dark oak. I think I can find little spots for all of those, no problem. Yeah, that's actually quite cool. We have this little like white streak running up and into the branches of the birch section. I didn't know if that would work out, but I think it did. And more importantly, we have like half of the blocks already used. Gonna waste no time at all and move on to the detail blocks. There's definitely some easy ones we can knock out real quick, like all the different buttons. Those can just be added to all the different colored branches as little bits of detail. That is all the buttons done, and we can pretty much do the same thing for all the different signs and even the pressure plates. Now, I know it's a little bit pointless to just have all of these things like casually stapled to the leaves and whatever, but I mean, come on. We have to use every wood block. I'm gonna be putting things in random places. With that being said though, I wanna add some more little decorative bits to this tree. I mean, it's a whacked out insane tree, probably the most insane tree build I've ever done, but it's still just a tree. We can add more things to this, like this rainbow swing hanging down from the tops of the trees all the way down to here, kind of just throwing some weird stuff together using as many blocks as possible. That's gonna knock out all of the different fences except the warped fence. These two doors, these two trapdoors, these two hanging signs, and the campfire. We can use the warped fence and warped gate to make the warped tree section just a little bit more weird and spindly and gnarly and all sorts of stuff. The rest of the fence gates can go here. And as for the rest of these blocks, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed that these are all kind of like interior decor blocks, no? So why don't we try and do some of that in our tree? I've made this little hole here which goes deep down into the center of the tree, and I think we could put some sort of like hidden layer in here, you know? There's not much space, but I don't know what else we're gonna do with all those different blocks, so let's just try it out. We can use our ladders to get in and out. And as for floor, we've got a weird mixture of beehives, chiseled bookshelves, and spruce trapdoors. I think this bottommost section would be good as like a storage depot. You know, lots of like chests and barrels and crafting stuff and whatnot, and a few hanging signs here and there to label things. This second level could be kind of like a crafting and living area. You know, we got some bookshelves, we got the looms, we got all the different workstations. And of course, we've now labeled everything with more hanging signs. And we're almost done, guys, but I do want to make like a cute little side exit here because, you know, we don't actually have have a way to get into this funny little interior other than going through the top. So, you know, we might want to fix that. Just have a little door entranceway right here. It's actually a pretty cool looking interior, not gonna lie. And then we're down to these. The composter, a whole bunch of trapdoors, and a whole bunch of doors. We are so close, you guys. Victory is within reach. The Ever Tree. Bear with me, guys. We're getting really, really close. I'm gonna be pulling some little stupid stuff to get these last few blocks in here. Composter is easy. That can just go in the storage area. It kind of looks like a trash bin anyways, so, you know, it works out. Lots of head scratching later. Okay, there we go. I made a stupid little hut of doors at the top of the canopy. It's all surrounding the edge. I can't even get into this thing. It's surrounding the entrance. Guys, I had literally no ideas for where to put 8 or 9 different doors. Like, hello, what am I supposed to do with these? So I came up with a really stupid solution. So we just have this stupid little hut up here now. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is every single wood block in the damn game used in one giant monstrosity of a tree. This is probably one of the stupidest builds I've ever put together, but I love it so much. Just the color and the diversity and just the sheer variety of textures and blocks and everything is genuinely really cool and really striking, even if it's just a stupid, like, moronic tree build. But whatever, guys, we did it, and I have no words for this thing. I think I'm just gonna call it here, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the tree build. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next Minecraft video. Take care, you all.